Hello beautiful beings, welcome back to the realm of inspiration. We are piggybacking up off of the video from the first week of November with just feeling whatever comes through. For this video we don't have to do as big of like an introductory conversation because we did that at the beginning of this month. I hope you enjoyed the 11/11 live channeling. And like the last time I did a video like this, you're knowing what this video is about before me, so that's fun. We're gonna see what wants to come through, and I really enjoyed kind of looking into this book as well to guide the channelings. So let's see what's coming through. So the beginning of the book, everything is directly channeled from the realm of inspiration from this point forward. Yeah, I opened directly to the introduction to this book. My introduction. That's very interesting. We're gonna try that again. Oh, okay. Traveler guides. What are we looking at here? So this is the explanation of the how Ascension works. Doing a channeling about Ascension. Is that what we're feeling today? Let's see. Specifically, so the little like quote from this part is, if necessary, they can manifest a temporary physical form. About ascended masters. Doing something about ascended masters. I don't know if is that what we're feeling like to channel. Remember, the goal is to be free from darkness and free others from darkness too. I do really love that line. What are we feeling? So it's Elfian Traveler Guide. I just channeled the Elfian Traveler Guide. I don't think I've done that in a little while. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Like, what do we have to say here? I'm gonna show the picture so you know who I'm talking about. I think maybe our Elfian Traveler Guides have a lot to say. So like little like fun fact thing here, because you can see it. In the Elfian Realm, the ascended, like I guess the ascended masters of their realm, or like the elders specifically, have like an orangey aura, and this is because they are like connected in all ways. They create in different ways, and it's the orange color frequency specifically of like, you know, connecting to spirituality and creativity and the balancing of the feminine and masculine. But then like our spirit guides from the Elfian Realm, the Elfian Traveler Guides, they have a like purpley aura, and this is more connected to like the crown chakra and guidance, which I find very fun. So we're gonna, you know, see with the Elfian Traveler Guide domain, I can only channel either assistants. I do not channel ascended masters. Assistants to the elders, the elder of that domain. Occasionally, it's happened like a few times where I've channeled like visitor status, which is just like an elf that is observing. So in the stage of observing. And very rarely would I ever channel like a traveler themselves, like an Elfian Traveler, so like the actual Elfian Ascended Masters. But I don't channel our spirit guides. So whenever I work with clients, like I don't channel your individual spirit guide, because that is a personal connection. So, and I also don't channel my own guide as well. That's not what I do. Other people do. But given the fact that I channel pretty much everything in this this realm of inspiration, having the line of like, I don't channel your individual guide is good. It's good. What I typically do is I would channel the elder, and then the elder speaks on behalf of the guide, or I channel Guardians of the Veil and they speak on behalf of the guide, and deliver those messages. That is just the relationship that I have. Every channeler is different. I also like personally, I don't feel comfortable with that. With channeling like ancestors, guides, departed loved ones. In general, you do not channel anything that has ever been alive in the physical. Let's just clear the air there. Like, you can clairaudiently, Clairaudiently do that, but not anything that's been alive. Like, okay, so like not like spirit guides or guardian angels do I ever directly channel. I only channel this realm and not the guides from the realm. So I just need to clarify. I just need to say that like 50 times. You should never. You should read my book, Awakening the Channeler Within. That's linked in the description. But you should never channel anyone who has been alive as a human being, because that's possession. Anyway, moving forward. Am I channeling the Elfian Traveler Guide Elder, or am I channeling a visitor or a traveler or an assistant to the elder? Let's see. What am I doing? This is not helpful. This is not helpful. The Elfian Nomad Joybringers. I think this just means that I would be channeling the elder. Is that what we're going with? Yep. The elder. Because it's referencing Elfian Traveler Guides. So the elder. Elfian Traveler Guide Elder, divine masculine energy. I'm safe and protected. And we're going to open our minds, messages for our highest good to inspire us on our journey. Just got to cultivate some energy here. Recharge our energy. And when I have safely stepped back, beautiful divine masculine elder of the Elfian Traveler Guide domain of the Elfian Realm, you may step forth and deliver any messages you have for us in this space and time. Hello, beautiful beings. I am the Elfian Traveler Guide Elder of the Elfian Traveler Guide domain of the Elfian Realm, divine masculine energy. Truthfully, I have quite a few things to say, but it is mainly just from the guides, your spirit guides. So first and foremost, connect to your spirit guides and guardian angels, please. Secondly, the path of ascension. So the messages that I have are really, in general, when I converse and have the congregation of my Elfian Traveler Guides, those of my elves that work with you humans directly, the eternal loving friends that do, your eternal loving friends. There is a lot going on with humans, and when we need to feel what is the collective experience that's going on. The collective experience and the collective like pain that's going on is actually mirroring the same fear and terror that was experienced during the bubonic plague in humans. Specifically, how it affected the people of France. That, you would think, would be what was being experienced in humans during 2020, right? But there's a different type of fear in 2020. It wasn't the same type of fear that's being experienced now. Now there is more war, there is more destruction, there is more hopelessness than there was when you were physically going through something that resembled the bubonic plague. So now we're observing that humans are experiencing the same sort of uncertainty and also lack of direction. See, the thing is after the bubonic plague, there was the Renaissance. So humans were feeling a new sense of inspiration. After the modern experience of that, there was something else that occurred. That is less the expression of the soul and more things that actually limit expression. And that would be in regards to artists having to compete with artificial intelligence for expression of creativity. That would be that the creativity did not further expand. There was different things that occurred, and it wasn't as big of a rebirth of inspiration as it was before. So you are still, as humans, energetically still stuck in that period of time where there is still so much fear-mongering going on. There is still so much lack of inspiration going on. And while there are so many beautiful, inspired actions, there's too much focus on the negative ongoings of the world. There isn't this peace, this period of golden age peace. not like the spiritual golden age, but in general, the period after darkness that occurs. So what we are observing is that for the ascension of humanity, that there is still this like slothness affecting, there is still this lack of gratitude. Because here's the thing. Here's how we are noticing the same energetic imprints. Because after the bubonic plague, there was so much gratitude in the hearts of those who survived. Honestly, from what we observe, and this is as our communicator calls, the very blunt directness of the higher realms that don't sugarcoat things. Truthfully, this is the most ungrateful period of humanity. There are a lot of people who are grateful, of course, but there is a lot of ungratefulness in the hearts of humanity. Look at how the world is. Oh, let's go to nature for starters. There's an ungratefulness for nature, that a lot of humans destroy her for capitalistic gain. There's an ungratefulness for animals. Again, experiment on them for capitalistic reasons. There isn't an appreciation for animals, for life, for nature in the same way that there was before the digital age. Here's the thing, the digital age can be such a powerful tool. It is magnificent. It allows us to communicate to so many of you. It is a powerful tool when used correctly. But there is a lot of lack of gratitude, a lot of lack of seeing how good you all have it. Those of you who are not living in war, fighting to survive, who can sit and be slothfully numb day in and day out. It is time to be grateful. You want to ascend, you want to manifest, you want to experience a better life. Be grateful and enjoy the life that you are living. The grass is not greener on the other side, and it's not going to be greener if you focus on it too hard. Nope. Actually, the key to manifesting something new, a better life, let's say you want to manifest a new house or moving to another country, is actually to be grateful and appreciative of where you are at in the moment and to show love to it. And when you feel like it is time to say goodbye, you say goodbye in a loving way, in a grateful way, in an appreciative way, and you open the door for new experiences. Actually, experiencing true gratitude opens you up to experiencing change in a better way. So what is needed right now is a gratitude rebirth, is what we're calling this, a gratitude rebirth. The animal kingdom is agreeing. We can hear birds chirping and dogs singing. A gratitude rebirth is in order. So what this means is for every time you feel upset, discouraged, depressed, not like in the sense of like actual depression, but in just like the sadness of depression, because we're not psychologists to give further advice on that. But when you feel sadness or slothness or procrastination or any of these other things, anything that keeps you stuck and stagnant, not moving forward, anything that prevents you from moving forward, and you just start complaining and criticizing and judging and complaining and criticizing and judging, when you're stuck in a loop of procrastination because everything is falling apart. Piggybacking off of our source from a message that came to you a few weeks ago, when you are so focused on the negative things, they manifest. So how do you shift perspective? It's gratitude. So for every one negative thing you can think of 5 positive things to cancel out the negative one. For example, if you are complaining because the weather is getting colder and you can't go swim at the beach and you're all upset because the weather is getting colder, which humans getting upset at the weather, it's also more of a new thing. Because really in the history of humanity, there was a time where humans were scared of weather because they didn't understand it, and then where they just accepted and adapted to it, where they were grateful for the rain instead of complaining about it. And now humans are so, stuck in their little rat race that they forget that nature is going to do what nature does and you can't control nature. So let's say this example of a human being upset about nature. What are 5 things you can think of? 5 great things you can think of. Well, you can think of, you know what? Because it's getting colder now, I might appreciate the summer more later. Right? Like, because of this season now, where things are changing and it's fall and I get a little bit of a break and maybe I get to spend some time indoors and do different things, different activities. So instead of swimming in the sea, I can go for walks in nature paths, or I can read a cozy book and watch the rain from my window, or things like this. Shifting your mindset, shifting your perspective, be grateful. So I am grateful for the opportunities that a new season brings me. I am grateful for seeing the way that nature creates new colors, new artwork, new energy. I am grateful to experience the change of seasons. I am grateful to experience a whole different town. Think of this. Every season, you get to experience 4 different towns. You get to experience your town in the summer, in the spring, in the winter, and in the autumn. Every season, you get to experience a different side of the world that you live in. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that fun? That in the summer, you wake up early and you get to go in outside and it's warm and it's like a nice warm hug. And in the winter, you get to wake up and put on your cozy jacket and make a nice cup of tea and watch as where you are in the world, it could be snow falling or, these different things. These different experiences, that's a different side. That's like living in 4 different worlds every year. Isn't that exciting? Shifting the mindset. It's that easy. It's that easy. But it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to get out of that stuckness, that slothness. That's why sloth is the most deadly of the deadly concepts. You think it might be lust or envy or wrath, but no, sloth is the most deadly of the deadly concepts because it prevents you from allowing yourself to be alive, to be life. It's true. What does it have to do with Ascension? You're wondering. Here. What it has to do with Ascension is that in order to ascend, you must be happy with where you're at. This is why Ascension takes such a long time. Ascension takes such a long time because there is no end to Ascension. Like there is no end to healing. It just evolves. No, Ascension takes such a long time because in order for you to be ready for the next phase, you must have gone through every step of the phase. If you think of every phase of Ascension as having all the 4 seasons, so you have to go through them all to be able to get to the most happy and joyful and grateful of summer. But for some people, winter is that for them. Some people, fall is that for them. Some people, spring is that for them. I mean, using summer as the example because most people are most happy in summer, but actually a lot of people also aren't. So maybe summer isn't your precipice. Maybe you are so happy that it is fall, and live in that and enjoy that. Enjoy the moments. See, what I'm trying to say is, it's present moment awareness. For you to presently experience all 4 seasons of your phase of Ascension and to be happy and grateful for where you are at so that you can open the door to the next thing. Because you can't do that until you've completed it. So for you to get to the next phase of Ascension, you must complete the previous one. You don't get to skip steps. You don't get to decide, I don't like this experience right now. I don't like this part of my Ascension. I don't want it, I want to skip it. No, that's not how Ascension works. You can't fast forward. You can't skip the replay. You can't do that. You can't do that. You have to just live it. Right? So you have to live the period of the time that you don't like, and then the accepting of it, and then the getting comfortable in it and living in the present moment, and then being happy with where you're at, and then being ready for something new, and then starting again. That's present moment awareness as well. So how can you be grateful for the present moment today? Let's be grateful from each of the 5 body systems for the present moment today. So it is the autumn season, correct? So let's see, from the mental body, an example, we'll use the crystal. The mental body. Can the mental body be grateful for this season, for this time, for this space? Well, let's see. Can't you be so grateful that you have the ability to ponder, to think, to reflect, to journal, to understand, to think complex things, to communicate, to express, to have innovative and intricate thoughts? Now, the heart. So I'm so grateful for my ability to think. The heart, you're so grateful for your ability to feel, to love, to connect, to love again after heartbreak, to make new friends and reunite with old ones, your ability to love. Grateful for my ability to love. With physical body, aren't you grateful that you can touch things, that you can see things, that you can taste things, that you can feel things, that you can sense things? For the abilities you have. And if you've lost a sense, isn't it so cool that your other one's heightened too? Isn't that so cool that you have a superpower that other people don't have? Grateful for life, to be alive. Think about spiritual body. That you have a soul. That you are a soul. That your soul is boundless. That you have an infinite soul. I'm grateful for my soul. That you, for your Akashic body inner child, that you got to experience life in different forms. And now you're experiencing it again. Not only that, you get to be in this space and time where you get to heal, where you have the luxury to heal, to set your inner child free. Isn't that magnificent? And that everyone around you is going through that same thing in different ways. And instead of being jealous or envious or judgmental of it, it's like, isn't that so cool that that's where they're at in their journey? It's going to be so exciting for them when they get to the next phase. It's easier said than done. But if you don't try, you'll never know. And that is what you should know at this time. And that concludes your messages.